Meeting will come to order, please. The notice requirements of the Open Public Meeting Act for this meeting have been satisfied. Will you please turn off all electronic equipment and we'll stand, excuse me, for the Pledge of Allegiance. Attention, salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Johanna, call the roll, please.
Mayor Becker.
Here.
Commissioner Amadeo.
Here.
Commissioner Blumberg.
For the record, Commissioner Blumberg is on a family vacation and will be in town next week. Thank you.
Seeing as there's no items on the special item list for discussion, we'll go right to department head reports. Frank, why don't you start this week?
Okay. We've been down Lucy the Elephant, doing the Lucy deck. We're completed the deck. We're waiting for the contractor to come in to put the railing up. It's a tube type of railing. It's not wood. And it has all the handicap walkways and everything already prefabbed into it. We had some complaints about the dog park at the last meeting. We went out to the dog park. We had Angerman out there, our contractor. He cleaned up the whole area, mulched all the beds and everything, and pruned the bushes. Today we were out at Thai School Field. We took down the back stop for the baseball field. We cleaned all that up, that whole area, pulled all the posts out and everything. We're going to, in the future, move the sheds that are on the side to the back of the park. Today we put a 12 by 50 bed of stone in there to set the sheds on. Andrew's going to order a new shed, and we're actually going to downsize the size of the shed that he's going to order. We've been very busy with that stuff, and we're getting ready for the spring season.
In
That's all I have.
spite of the weather, it is coming.
It is coming.
That's all.
Thank you, Frank. Jim?
Let's hope so. It's been a chilly one today. In fact, down at the bulkhead down there at Lamberti's, those guys are working in some really terrible conditions. I don't know how they're doing it. Okay, so we're currently updating the building department's webpage. You can find important information such as construction hours, permit applications, and inspections requirements. Check it out. And we are also accepting rental applications for summer rentals. Please be sure to check the inspection requirements on our webpage because there has been a recent change with smoke detector requirements. As of this year, 10-year sealed battery-powered single-station smoke detectors are required. We're really updating the job sites. I mean, it's just been day one going out and making sure they're clean, passage-free, the barriers are up, and there is no safety hazards. So if you see some, report it to us, and we're getting on the builders right away to straighten it out. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Roger?
Thank you, Mayor. Commissioner Amadeo. Planning board meeting last week went well. The process is working. Another planning board meeting is March 28th here in this room at 6:30 at night. We're updating some definitions in the zoning ordinance, and other than that, everything's busy.
Roger? Ed or Ed, or Ed and Ed?
And we'll do a duet. I'm gonna, we did submit our engineering report. I'll just touch on highlighted updates, and then if there's something I don't touch on, feel free to ask any questions. Obviously, jump in anytime. Beach thoroughfare dredging, we're still working on our new plan of action. We'll have something on that hopefully before the next meeting. The Ventnor Avenue, Washington Avenue intersection streetscape project, we did reach out to DOT and Jim Rotella for an update on when we might hear back on that grant. We haven't heard anything yet, but we will report as soon as we do. GIS mapping, we had a meeting on Tuesday, I think it was, to go over the latest edition of the mapping. The next step is for us to go out and collect some field data to fill in the blanks for the information that we didn't already have on file. So we'll coordinate that with the city. Lancaster Avenue, beach bulkhead access. This bid was opened at the end of February 28th. We have that, I believe, on the agenda today to award the project to KG Marine. for $39,495, and then that project can get started and completed in the spring construction season. 2019 municipal building playground upgrades is the pickleball court project, and we are moving along with that design. We have an item on the agenda today to authorize our bids, and the plan is to have a bid award at the first April meeting. Water Quality Accountability Act Water System Asset Management Plan is in progress. There's an item on the agenda today for the Beach Dune Maintenance Permit Renewal, so we will get that done in time for our May deadline. I will jump to the construction project.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
The pickleball courts,
Yep.
finish completion timeframe, please.
Right, so the way that will work is, the expectation is we'll have the pickleball courts paved, the fences up, the nets up, and the way that these sports courts work is you then have to wait. It's a waiting period, I think it's 45 days for the oils to set out of the asphalt before you can do that coating. So the schedule would be that we would have a workable, playable court. It wouldn't have the final finish on it until a month and a half after it's done, and then that'll just maybe be a couple days of work when they come back. They'll do the sports coating and the sports striping. Maybe we can do some temporary striping in the meantime, so those courts could be used as just a blacktop court with the temporary striping on it.
That's fine.
Yep.
Okay with that?
Or even a practice court.
Or regular practice court, right?
It's the process, we
Right.
have to wait through.
Yep, absolutely.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no problem. Winchester Avenue, this is the project that we had base paved last week, I guess. So it's base paved, and we've issued an extension for that project to May 1st with the understanding that if we get a good spat of weather, the contractor will come back in and do the final paving. Jumping down to Burke Avenue, same deal. Road was base paved last week. Same extension out to May 1st for final paving with the expectation that it'll be paved as soon as possible once the weather's suitable. Benson Avenue Water Tank, we're still working with the electric company on that project. Looks like a fall construction. 2017-18 curb and gutter program. The contractor is out there working. Today they're out on East Drive, North Essex, North Haverford, and South Hanover. So they're working in multiple locations. And they'll continue to do that, and we'll continue to send out our weekly Monday construction updates, so that way the folks on those roads will know where they're going to be that week, and hopefully that'll help with the coordination. And that is it on our report.
Ed? Roger.
I do have just a quick update on the bike racks. I know the plans have been submitted to the state and the feds for review. I think they're in the comment period, and which will allow the county to go out and solicit bids or proposals for construction administration of the project. So hopefully this will get started by summertime.
It started, Mike?
So we won't see bike racks this summer.
It depends how long the feds take to authorize us to go to bid.
I'm hopeful that we will see bike racks this summer.
It's very, the installation of these bike racks is very easy. So you could have a contractor at a street end for 2 hours putting the bike racks in. So we could see them during the summer
Okay.
without a disruption to, traffic.
Just Mayor through you.
Go.
Ed, safe school routes, where are we at with that?
We haven't received federal authorization to bid yet. We did receive back an approval of our environmental documents.
Right.
But we did send in our latest round of revisions that they asked for. We just haven't received a letter back from them yet.
Okay, you'll stay on top of that?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
The one thing I didn't cover was Amherst Avenue Bulkhead. Touched on it a little bit. They are out there today. They're driving sheets. It's rough out there, but they're driving sheets on the far end. So they're making progress.
Good. All good. Chief?
It's been a smooth,
Business Administrator?
it's been a smooth 2 weeks in the Office of the Business Administrator, so thank you for that.
It's on Monday morning.
I'll hand off the ball. In the police department, I'm proud to report that we put our 4 new cars into service, and we removed 6 cars from service. So we're starting to lower the number of cars in the police department fleet.
Yes, and the chief and I had a discussion this afternoon. We're going to go out, we're going to use one for the building department temporarily, the best of the 4 that was taken off the street. The other 3, and hopefully your command vehicle, we can put on Gov.
Yeah, it's gonna go do that other one.
So we'll auction them off and we'll reduce our fleet and save on registrations and insurance. Thank you.
And we have a plan in the future to even reduce the fleet even greater regarding our 2 utility trucks. So we're working on something with that. We'll present your approval. Other than that, everything's great.
Thank you, Dave. Lisa?
Good afternoon, everybody. Couple of things, I just want to give a little report on what's been going on in the tax office. For the month of February, they collected over $7.1 million in taxes. All the delinquent notices have been mailed. Water and sewer bills have been mailed, and all the residents probably have them by now. I know I received mine. And I just want to point out that this, I believe, is the 6th year that our rate has remained the same for the water and sewer, and we still remain one of the lowest in the area. Tax collector Linda also wanted me to mention that the state is discussing issuing a homestead rate rebate at some time during the second quarter of the year, but she's waiting for more information from the state. The only other thing I want to mention is, as you know, today we're introducing our budget. I reported more detail on it at the last meeting. As you know, the municipal tax rate is going down 1/10 of a penny. We're in very good shape. I also want to highlight that our salary and wages are down over $151,000 this year. And, we're continuing to, watch our spending. And we also, as I mentioned in the past, have a very strong surplus this year. And we're only using or anticipating an additional $70,000 in surplus over last year, which is a total of $3 million, and that is helping to stabilize our budget. Each of you should have a copy. I believe I emailed that to you earlier. And unless you have any questions, that's all I have. Oh, and I just want to mention that it should be up on the website by tomorrow. So.
Thank you, Lisa. Dan?
Thank you, Mayor. Things have been relatively smooth and easy in the fire department, but I wanted to segue on one thing that Jimmy Galantino had spoken about with the smoke detectors. We have the Operation 6 Save a Life smoke detector program, along with the coordination of providing smoke detectors through Atlantic County and Atlantic Electric. And just so everybody is aware, we are only putting up the 10-year lithium battery smoke detectors. That's all we have in stock. That's all we're putting up. And when we have to purchase in the future, that's what we're providing as well. The only other thing I want to remind all of our residents is make sure you have working and operating carbon monoxide detectors in your home. At a minimum, you should have one on each level of your home. Carbon monoxide is odorless, tasteless, colorless. You don't see it, you don't smell it, you don't know it's present, but it can kill you. So please make sure you have working and operating carbon monoxide detectors in your home to make sure that everybody is safe. And thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Johanna, do you have anything this week?
I have nothing to report today.
Pardon?
Nothing to report.
Fred?
It's all good.
John?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Scott, I spoke to Scott Abbott, our solicitor, earlier today. He wanted me to bring everybody on board with the Lamberti bulkhead. As work's progressing, they requested the demo. They're in the process of moving forward with the demo of the existing building. So they're requesting, because we still hold the deed to that building until a certain amount of work is completed, they're requesting a letter of authorization from the city to allow the demolition to happen as the pattern of construction goes. So that this way, we're out of the messy part before our season starts. So that letter's been drafted. It's in Jim Galantino's possession for Scott to review when he gets back on Monday. And it's signed by myself, and if Scott okays it, we can proceed with demolition hopefully in the next 2 weeks with that, as per our contract. The last thing, since we have residents from Margate here, and I don't know if you've read it, but I know Nanette Galloway on her blog, downbeach.com, publicized our bench program. We have roughly 31 locations that the Army Corps, through the dune construction, put a 10-by-10 carve out on the top of the dune. So we're now accepting applications through City Hall. Either Anthony Edge in Public Works is handling it for us, the actual, he's the go-to guy, but you also can contact Don Bazzelli in City Hall. It's $1,000. The cost of the bench is in the 700 range, I believe, Frank, am I correct? And the foundation and all the work that goes along with it, there's no profit on the city, and then you can purchase a plaque to, to dedicate it to family members or whatever you so desire. So I think to date, we have 7 deposits. So, the numbers are dropping, so anybody's interested, they have to call. It's first come, first served, call City Hall. That's all I have to say, Mayor.
You could have worked on the boardwalk in an auction now. One thing, I had a resident from out of town call and ask if I would bring up the following for consideration by the commission. His idea was to begin beach badge season earlier in the hope of diverting some of the college people to other communities. So I'm bringing it up, I'm asking what we think about it at the next meeting. We can have a discussion if we're interested. It may be an idea worthy of some merit. We'll see. Okay.
That, I would guess, would be for Memorial Day weekend, would be the start up of beach badges.
That's what it is now, right? So
No,
yeah.
beach badges are,
Yeah.
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 But they don't really go, we don't have beach taggers on the beach until mid-June, right?
Yes, but they're for sale now all year long. Yeah, we order them towards the end of every year, and then they can be purchased at the pavilion. Yeah.
Right.
So now, there will be someone in City Hall to assist with the sales in April, because a lot of people come in when they pay their water bill and their taxes. And they'll also be available 7 days a week
Well,
at the
let's
pavilion.
be open and honest about this. This is more a significant thing, maybe driving people away rather than enforcing it, because we would have problems enforcing it. We have problems anyhow enforcing it all the time. So, something to think about. If anybody has any things that they'd like to discuss, we'll do that at the next meeting. Okay. At this point, anybody have anything else? We'll open to public comment. The rules of this meeting, 3 minutes, you can discuss any subject that was discussed here today. If you're here for any other reason, we'll be at the beginning of the next meeting. Any public comment? Motion to close public comment.
So moved.
Second,
Mayor Becker?
yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
We will take a short break and we will open our regular meeting thereafter.
Should we move the